guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video on the channel. Today we have Premier League Game Week 14 predictions. Quickly, I need to clear up the live reaction to the Champions League and Europa League draw. They were being filmed. The Champions League one was filmed and ready to be edited, and then the Europa League one I couldn't do because everyone came back, so I couldn't film it. And then this video is going out 6 hours late because yesterday I went to film it and then something happened, so I can't disclaim it because yeah. But yeah, this is going out a bit late because I'm filming this at 2:49 before it's going out at 6:30 now, so 18 hours before the first kickoff. It's still going out on a Thursday, but yeah, sorry about all that. But before we get into it, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Every game is still being covered, so every Christmas game is being covered. On Sunday we'll have the Carabao Cup predictions coming out as well for the quarterfinals. The first one this season. I'm only doing the quarterfinals because there's some interesting games there. Well, it's the last 4 games anyway, so yeah, subscribe for that, and let's get right into this video. So the first game here is Crystal Palace taking on Liverpool. Now Crystal Palace yesterday got held to a 1-1 draw against West Ham. Liverpool beat Spurs. I did say Liverpool beat Spurs, but based off the game yesterday, we didn't deserve to lose. Liverpool were very lucky to win, I feel. But I'll speak about that game more in the Spurs when it comes to Spurs versus Leicester. Yeah, as for these two teams, I think Liverpool, it's definitely their chance to prove that they still can do what they can do without the likes of Van Dijk or Thiago. I think Liverpool are just narrowly going to win this game. I think Crystal Palace, their form's up and down. It always has been since they've been in the Premier League. I think they're going to narrowly lose this game 2-1. Also, just want to say, Curtis Jones, what a player as well. None of this Foden bullshit. Curtis Jones is the generational midfielder in the England under 23s or whatever it is. Curtis Jones is fantastic. Now moving on to Southampton versus Man City. Southampton yesterday got held to a 1-1 draw against Arsenal with Walcott absolutely shithousing them, so yeah, you're forgiven for that gesture done on the stretcher. And Manchester City got held 1-0 against West Brom. So City, now they have a fully fit squad and they're performing nowhere near what they have done in the past few years. It's appalling really for a team of City's calibre. I think they're going to struggle here against Southampton and St Mary's. I'm going with another 1-0 draw for both teams. And I think, yeah, Man City are really going to fall off. They just look a shadow of themselves really. And Southampton, they're in form, and I think they can counter that and come away with at least a point here at St Mary's. They did beat Man City 1-0 earlier in the year. Last season, technically, they beat them 1-0 from Project Restart. So yeah, maybe a bit of confidence from that, but yeah, I think the Saints can come away with at least a point. Moving on to Everton versus Arsenal. Everton, pretty much probably one of the best teams this season. Coming off the bat of a 2-1 win against Leicester, I think a fantastic result for Carlo Ancelotti's side. Facing Arteta's team, Arsenal, who have been shambolic. They haven't won in the Premier League since they beat Man United through a penalty. Lucky to score really with that Aubameyang goal. It's nothing special from Aubameyang, and everyone's piping up about him again. So yeah, I think Aubameyang's shit. That's still a clear fact. Aubameyang's shit, and never compare that fraud to Kane again. And I think Everton are going to walk away with a victory here. I think Everton are going to win this game 2-0, with Arsenal falling lower down the table and Arteta's position as manager possibly going up in flames against his former club. I personally think that Arsenal should hold out with Arteta and give him more transfer windows to build his team, because this isn't his team, this is a mix of Emery. This is pretty much Emery's team. So I'd give Arteta a few transfer windows to build his team and see what he can do in a season and a half time in 2022. Now Newcastle versus Fulham. Newcastle lost 5-2 against Leeds. I'll speak about that game more when we speak about Leeds because they won. And Fulham got a couple of points under their belt recently. They drew against Liverpool and then they drew 0-0 against Brighton. A goal disallowed from Brighton to give Fulham the point. But Fulham are playing okay, which is quite surprising really considering how they've played for the rest of the season. But they're playing well at the moment, and these games are being judged at the moment. You know, form is everything in these type of games. And I think Fulham are going to get another point. I'm going with another 1-1 draw here for the Whites against the Magpies, and I think Fulham can get something out of this game. But I think they're safe from relegation, to be honest. They're They're in amongst it at the minute, but I think ultimately they have enough quality to get through the relegation battle. Now another relegation scrap, it is Brighton taking on Southampton.
Oh, shut up, you cunt!
Now another relegation scrap, it is Brighton taking on Sheffield United. Brighton, as I said, drew 0-0 with Fulham. Sheffield United haven't actually played as I'm filming this, and they haven't played when this goes out, so I think Sheffield United are going to lose. They have 1 point in their opening 12 games, 13 games should I say, and it's just not good enough. 12 games they haven't played yet, but it's not good enough. They're on track to get less than Derby's points, which I didn't think would ever be possible. But what do you do if you're the Sheffield United board? Do you sack Chris Wilder, or do you hang on to him for next season, which is going to be in the Championship inevitably? And I think you hang on to Chris Wilder. He done fantastic in getting them promoted. He done fantastic last season, and he's got the same team. It's not clicking. Second season syndrome. It's happened to loads of teams, like Huddersfield, for example. They didn't do as well as what Sheffield United done last year, but they're still having second season syndrome. And I would personally keep hold of Chris Wilder, because look at Norwich. They kept hold of Daniel Farke, and now they're in amongst the title contention in the Championship. So yeah, you could argue that Bournemouth got rid of Eddie Howe and they're doing the same thing, but I'd personally keep Chris Wilder. But yeah, this game, I think Brighton are going to beat Sheffield United, and I think Brighton are going to win this game 1-0. And now Tottenham versus Leicester. Now both teams coming off the bat of a loss, and Spurs didn't deserve to lose. Now, all I'm saying is, Bergwijn cost us that game. You could argue that Kane cost us as well with that header, but if you put Bergwijn in his position and Kane's position of the header, Bergwijn doesn't score any of them. If you put Kane in both positions, Kane would score both of them. It's just Kane missed the header and put it into the ground too much. Kane scores them headers 9 times out of 10, and that was just the one that he missed. He scores the chance that Bergwijn had. I'm not counting the one where Trent was all over him. I would have one that hit the post. You should be scoring that, and that is 2-1 to Spurs, and it changes the game. Mourinho can bring on Reguilon as a left wing back, not a left midfielder. He can bring on even a more defensive player. I think that bringing Dele Alli on was the right choice at 1-0, because I think if he can get himself fit, he is the perfect fit to match Son and Kane. He can run in behind like Son does. He's not as quick, but he can get in behind, which is where he thrives. So Dele Alli, I think if he can get into maybe a loan move away and then next season coming back and doing that, fantastic for him. But Liverpool fans, fuck off. And if you're a Spurs fan watching this, we've lost 2 games this season, and we are second in the league behind Liverpool after playing all of our tough games, bar Leicester away and Wolves away maybe, but City away looks like we can beat them. We beat them already. So our hardest game in Liverpool away is done, and we're second behind Liverpool by 3 points. You can't rely on other teams to drop points. You have to do your own thing as a team. But yeah, I think it's a fantastic position for Spurs to be in, and I think they're going to build in that against the Leicester team, who are coming off of a 2-1 loss to Everton. Definitely going to hurt their confidence losing at home to a Champions League rival, you could say. And I think Spurs are going to count on that, and I think they're going to win this game 2-1. Getting back on track is what Spurs need, and I think they're going to do exactly that, beating the Foxes 2-1. Jamie Vardy is of course going to score the penalty that Leicester are going to get. But yeah, Spurs to get the other 2 goals and win the game 2-1. Now moving on to arguably one of the most exciting games of the year. Manchester United taking on Leeds, an old rivalry renewed. I've only seen 1 game of these happen before, and it was in the FA Cup in like 2010 when Leeds knocked Man United out in like the 3rd round. Jermaine Beckford scored that goal. I remember watching that, and yeah, I think this is going to be a really tough game. Now, Man United have a better away record than they do home record, and I think that's going to come into play against Leeds, who won 5-2 against Newcastle. A massive confidence boost considering their up and down form that they've had with poor results and good results. They're just up and down. They really are just sailing along in the Premier League. And I think they're going to collect another point at Old Trafford. I'm going with a 1-1 draw with Bamford and Rashford to score. This is a game where Rashford could thrive, being a Manchester United boy through and through. And a game where Marco Bielsa is definitely going to fire his men up. And I think Leeds are going to get something out of the game. Moving on to a Midlands derby, West Brom versus Aston Villa. In any derby, form goes out the window, and I think it's going to go right out the window here. Of course, Sam Allardyce is the new West Brom manager. Didn't see that coming. Bilic getting sacked after drawing 1-0 against City. Not what anyone would expect against Aston Villa, who are one of the better teams this season. They're on a poor run of form at the minute with 1 win in 5 as I'm filming this. But yeah, 1 win in 5 at home, I should say. But they're playing away, so that doesn't really matter. I think West Brom are going to win this game 1-0 with Big Sam getting his first 3 points on the board. Now West Brom with Big Sam at the helm, he loves a relegation battle and he always comes out on top. So I think West Brom are safe from relegation with Big Sam in charge. And yeah, this is going to be a massive boost if they can get off to a winning start in the Midlands derby. Moving on to Burnley versus Wolves, a tricky game going to Turf Moor for any team. Most boring team in the league, arguably, Burnley are. But I think Wolves are going to come through, they have enough quality. Apart from their loss to Liverpool, they've beaten Arsenal, they've beaten Chelsea this weekend, this week even, shall I say. And yeah, more confidence for Wolves, and I think they're going to collect another 3 points over in Burnley, winning 2-1. And now the last game this week is Chelsea taking on West Ham. Chelsea, 2 losses on the bounce against Everton and Wolves, and I think they're going to continue that poor form against West Ham. Now West Ham, fantastic goal by Haller, if you haven't seen it, type it in, Haller goal versus Crystal Palace. Fucking beautiful goal, arguably goal of the season. Chelsea haven't beaten a team that's above 12th. And I think that's going to carry on that form. I think this is going to be a Desmond 2-2. As I've said, form goes out the window in the London derby, and I think West Ham are going to be up for this considering their form against the bigger teams as well, like Spurs, Manchester City. Even their game against Liverpool that they narrowly lost, they played fantastic. And I think they can get something at Stamford Bridge. So yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Make sure you do subscribe, as I said, like the video, and comment your predictions down below on your team that you support or any game you are interested in commenting in. I'm interested to see what you think. As I said, Sunday we'll have a video going up with the Carabao Cup predictions. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye.